A bit. Firstly, I want to talk about this. Earlier, you heard about that magnet fisherman, didn't you, from Grantham in Lincolnshire, who hooked around $2,000 out of a canal in a safe. Well, this county, has its own community of magnet fishers. They're called the Shropshire Dippers, and Mark Stringer from Ludlow is one of them, and I'm really pleased to say he's with me now. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Adam. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Thanks for coming on the programme. How long have you been magnet fishing, then?
It's not actually that long. We've only been doing it a few months. My son Matthew and myself saw it on YouTube and both sort of said, fancy a go at that at the same time. Got a couple of cheap magnets off eBay. Went out, tried it, got a nice folding knife and a lovely bike, and it was like, wow.
So you found that straight away?
Yeah, our first time out, we got presumably a fisherman's knife, but things like that are always exciting, the murder weapons or whatever they want to call it, and a lovely bike. Obviously, been in the canal for a while, but yeah, you get hooked. Then quickly realise that our cheap magnets off eBay weren't really any good. So being hooked, we upgraded to proper ones. There are dedicated magnets for the job. So we got proper magnets, and that makes a world of difference then.
How hard is it to do? Like once you snare something, it's sometimes quite physically demanding.
It can be. It's good exercise. You're out there in the fresh air, in the sun, and yeah, a lot of exercise. So you do have aching arms at the end of the day. The magnet's quite heavy. Because they are powerful. For example, my magnet is double-sided, and each side will hold something 550 kilos.
Oh wow!
So you could in effect grab a ton on one of these things, and the other ones are bigger. But the idea is that the interesting stuff, the smaller interesting things, are buried well into the silt. So they're not just sitting there on the bottom of the river or the canal. They tend to be buried in the silt. So a very powerful, heavy magnet, when you put it in, will sink down a bit into that silt.
And obviously as well, Mark, you've got to be responsible, haven't you? You've got to do things carefully.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. The other rule that we abide to is that anything we bring out, we take away. Because it's given some of the magnet fishers a bad name, where you've had teams of people go out and do it and just leave all the rubbish there, leave all the scrap. You bring an awful lot of steel out of the rivers and the canals, and people have just left it on the side and all the plastic bags. So we always ensure that everything is taken away and cleaned up, and anything dangerous goes to the police. So if there's shotgun shells, bullets, things like that,
you're reporting it. If people want to join in and get involved with magnet fishing, what should they do?
There's a really good group, as well as our group on Facebook, which is excellent, of course, Shropshire Dippers. There's a group called Dippers and Scrappers. So it's specifically aimed at cleaning up the waterways. So go along to Dippers and Scrappers. Go along to Shropshire Dippers on Facebook. Dippers and Scrappers is got a full list of scrap merchants that specifically come out for magnet fishers. So if you're out there and you start fetching out a lot of stuff which you can't carry yourself, or long stuff, like I fetched out a 6.5 metre long, 1.5-inch solid bar a couple of weeks ago, which is an absolute monster. So you can't carry that. So then there's a directory on there. You can call people and they'll come out and take it away for you. So you make sure it's cleaned up properly.
Well, listen, thanks for coming on the programme this morning and telling us all about it, Mark. It really is fascinating. I'd love to have a go sometime. Thank you very much. Mark Stringer from Ludlow, one of the Shropshire Dippers. As he said, you can find them online if you want to get involved in magnet fishing. It's quite incredible.